So in 1994, Richard Branson launched his own Coke bottle company called Virgin Cola, and it actually did extremely well, outperforming in sales in the UK against Coca-Cola and Pepsi. That's pretty impressive. It did so well that he decided to take the fight to them in the United States, and he went to Times Square, brought his own tank, and he launched Virgin Cola bottles at Coca-Cola bottles. It was insane. Also, let's take a moment to talk about how awesome the 90s were. I mean, it's completely unrelated to my point, but he had a Virgin Cola bottle in the shape of Pamela Anderson. The 90s were just insane. But as you can imagine, Coca-Cola had a lot more firepower than Virgin Cola. And before you knew it, Virgin Cola was essentially off the shelves. What's up, everybody? My name's Griff, and I want you guys to have an excellent vacation. And I just stepped off of Virgin Voyages Scarlet Lady, and it was an incredible cruise. Virgin Voyages really is changing the game, in my opinion, and I can prove it. They have 4 new ships. That's the Scarlet Lady, the Resilient Lady, Brilliant Lady, and the Valiant Lady. And the Scarlet Lady actually won Best New Cruise Ship in 2021, so they're definitely on the right track. However, there's a very clear issue in my mind that I came across. But we need to break down the 4 major pain points Virgin Voyages needs to address, and that's food and drink, that's together, the private island, the cabins, and the cruise culture. And in this case, it's going to be Virgin Voyages cruise culture, because it's a little bit different. And if you stay all the way to the end of this video, I promise you it will help 2 types of cruisers. First-time cruisers who are really looking to see if they should choose Virgin Voyages as their first cruise. And the second group of people is going to be experienced cruisers trying to figure out if they should part with their dollars, their money with Virgin Voyages. Please note, I intentionally left off shows in these 4 pain points because, in my opinion, shows only make about 5, maybe 10% of a cruise experience. You can argue with me in the comments. I also left out ports of call. Sure, they'll work with local businesses that are already there, but I'm not seeing an actually owned experience by a cruise company. Rarely. So let's talk about the first pain point, which is food and drink, because I feel it takes up maybe 60% of a cruise's experience. And with Virgin Voyages, it really is like a foodie experimental paradise, and it's really good. Gun Bay is a Korean barbecue restaurant where they cook the food in front of you and they provide you with free drinking games, which is really cool because it's included. It's unique, it's authentic, very fun place to start off your cruise. They also have Razzle Dazzle, which takes you on a culinary journey with vegan and vegetarian palates, which in my opinion was also pretty unique. And they have a really good steak and burgers there as well. Got to check it out. But they also have quirky dining pairings like a popcorn old fashioned and glitter dusted churros. I kid you not, I had 8 of them. I was a complete monster and they were just delicious. It's you got to try that. There's something called the Test Kitchen. Now the Test Kitchen is like a 6-7 food pairing awesomeness. They pair your drinks with your food. You can do cocktails, you can do beer, and you can do wine. And they have very experimental dishes. I had a chocolate blueberry steak that just completely blew my mind. It was out of this world, and it was so good. Everyone at the table, well, at least the guys, ordered it again. It was that good. And what I find interesting is that we got confirmation that the menu is going to change. And I think it's very interesting that the chefs on board have that much autonomy with the actual menu. And so in 6 months, it's going to be completely different. So if you haven't been with Virgin Voyages yet, it's going to change. And if you've been with Virgin Voyages before, look forward to trying something different. The pizza place is where you can get freshly made pizza, customized to your palate and your liking. No more just, this is the pizza of the day. Here are the toppings. You can build it yourself and have your own pizza pie. There's a Mexican restaurant with some of the best guacamole I've ever had. Fresh chips, really cool margaritas. There was crickets in my margarita. Yep, crickets. I'll make a drink menu and cocktail guide later on, but it too is also a crazy experience you got to try. Extroversion is the Italian menu. That's bomb as well. They bring you charcuterie. You can pair it with Aviation Gin, which is Ryan Reynolds' new gin, and that signature drink pairs well with charcuterie board. I loved it. What I'm trying to say is their food options are crazy. Now listen, I've been on 30 plus cruises. Maybe that's a lot to you, maybe that's a little to you, but what I'm trying to say is I've been on Mexican Riviera, Alaska cruises, Caribbean, and what I've noticed with some of the cruise lines is that the menu doesn't change. So, for example, I can go to Alaska and I'll still get Chinese pulled pork tacos on day 3 in Alaska in Skagway. And sometimes I feel that the menu should reflect some of the ports of call and be a little bit more unique when you're eating on a cruise ship. Now, if you've never been on a cruise before, they do something where you sit at a table with a bunch of strangers. Now, if you're an extrovert, man, this is awesome. You get to meet new friends, lifelong friends, hang out and chat and talk, and it's great for you. However, if you're an introverted person, this is probably your worst nightmare. I'm not going to lie. But with Virgin Voyages, they have 20 different restaurants and they spread you out everywhere. It doesn't feel like you're in the main dining room, which is a classic traditional portion of cruising if you've ever been on one. But what I'm trying to say is there's something intimate and special of being able to take your significant person or friends and family and actually being able to converse with them and have some alone time instead of, you know, that. I know, right? Like, what a concept, going on a cruise with the person you came with and actually having a conversation with them and not having to be sat at a table full of strangers, you know, who may not speak English. That's happened to me. But, you know, we're still lifelong friends. We talk to each other all the time. I'm joking. We never saw each other again. It was just awkward for a full 90 minutes. No big deal. They actually never showed up to the table again because they probably felt just as awkward as I did. Thanks for that. Let's move on. But what I'm trying to say is whether you book a Virgin cruise or not, if any of this in this video is informative or helpful to you, please consider smashing the thumbs up button, as it really helps people get a better understanding of what to expect on a cruise line such as Virgin. And if you truly love travel videos and informative ones like this one, please subscribe to the channel. I am trying my best to hit 100K before Christmas Day. And if we don't, I'm just going to quit YouTube and probably do something else. So yeah, now is a good time to join and be a part of that first 100K. So the problem isn't the dining. So let's jump into the private island. Most cruises, generally speaking, have their own private island, and Virgin Voyages is no different. However, to be transparent, it's more of a private beach club and less of a private island. It is in Bimini, and whether this was on purpose or it was by design, the private island with Virgin Voyages feels like it's broken up into 4 sections. There's the VIP area for Rockstar Suites and, you know, VIP guests. It's quiet. It's relaxing, it's exclusive, really cool. Then there's like pool number 1. Let's just call that the introverted pool. It's quiet, it's relaxing. People are drinking drinks, they're floating in the pool. There's hammocks. It's really awesome. Then there's pool number 2, which is, I'm just going to say it, for extroverts, partying, dancing. There's music, loud music. There's a giant pool party where people bring out floats and stuff. And then Section 4 is obviously the beach. They have tons of chairs and beach lounges and day beds, and you don't have to pay anything extra for these. They're just available for you, ready for you to relax, which is, in my mind, super interesting considering I've been on other private islands that charge you for these, charge you for an umbrella, stuff like that. With Virgin Voyages, it's there. So let's talk about the cabin. The cabins are trendy. The furniture's sturdy. It's comfortable in my opinion. The bed is a little hard for my liking. I just love softer beds. However, it is on par with many other standard cabins across other cruise lines, with the exception of like Disney. Those are probably the softest beds I've ever slept on. But other cruise lines like Carnival, Royal Caribbean, and Norwegian, the bed was just as hard as Virgin's. I'm just going to call it how I see it. There was nothing spectacular there. So let me know what type of room I need to book to get a softer bed, because those beds are hard. But my point is, the cabin's spacious, it's open, there's a hammock on the back on the balcony. They call it a sea terrace. It's spacious. I dig it. Room comes with water, which is awesome. That's included. They have free Wi-Fi. They have an iPad that controls the mood lighting, the AC. You get free movies, controls the curtains. It's really a technologically advanced room. So as far as the cabins go, they also added more space. So they're open to hearing feedback and actually implementing that feedback quite quickly. Considering it's a new cruise line, that's a very good thing to have. So the pain point isn't the cabin. So it has to be the culture. And that's just the cruise culture. Let's dive into that. Virgin Voyages is really an adults only experience, which means there's no kids. I was on one cruise line where, let's just call it a mom. She was looking at another girl and she was wearing a, let's call it a cheeky bikini. And she said, why would she wear that bikini at the pool with kids. There's kids here. The kids are present. Respectfully, ma'am, I mean, your kids didn't buy her cruise. She did. So, I mean, mind your business. But to be clear, kids are cool. They're funny. They say the craziest things, but they can also be very loud, very obnoxious. They spill things. I actually spilled my drink on my last cruise. They kick over stuff. They make lines a little bit longer because they can't serve themselves as quick as adults can. I heard crying, yelling, screaming. It was what kids do. That's what they do. And when we were at CocoCay, there's some kids that just kept splashing water on us because they just don't have that people awareness. And even when you ask them to stop, you do feel a little bit awkward of like disciplining someone else's kids. What I'm trying to say is like kids will be kids, and that's just kind of is what it is with that. However, with Virgin Voyages, there were no kids. It was peacefully quiet because you finally felt as if you're on vacation because you didn't have kids with you and no one else's kids were there with you. It was just a bunch of adults trying to catch up on what sometimes can be a very exhausting life. Speaking of quietness, there's only 2 announcements on Virgin Voyages. The captain comes on before your cruise sets sail, and then the captain comes on once the cruise is over. Granted, there's an announcement if there's ever an emergency of an unlikely event, but that was it. There was no one coming over the intercom to completely read off the list of things to do. There's no one yelling at you trying to say, buy the spa package, come to this show, do this, do that. There's no upsells. No one's trying to press you into anything. It was very clear that Virgin Voyages wants you to have an all-inclusive experience because you've already paid for it. No buy the extra Wi-Fi package because you already have it. No buy the drink package because there's no drink package. You just have a bar tab. It was very interesting. No one's approaching you while you're eating dinner saying, you want to take a photo while they're dressed as a pirate. It's just, there's also no judgment. So back to what we said earlier, if you want to wear that cheeky bikini or you want to wear a Speedo, there's no judgment. It's just kind of come as you are and do what you do and have fun and relax. As long as you don't get in people's space or do something dangerous, you're pretty much good to go. So those are the 4 things, in my opinion, that make up a Virgin Voyages cruise. So what the heck, Griff? What is the problem? Well, the problem is, who the frick is this cruise for? How do you effectively advertise the pain points to those who are just so accustomed to traditional cruising, whether they're experienced or they've never been on a cruise before? Out of all the things we talked about today, right, have you seen any traditional forms of marketing about Virgin Voyages and those certain pain points that they offer? Do you see them actually talking about many of the things cruisers actively ask for while we're cruising? Because I've sat with many cruisers and they express their discomfort with certain things, yet they're afraid to try Virgin Voyages, despite Virgin Voyages actively fixing those pain points they're expressing. Have you guys seen any traditional commercials or like radio spots or ads or, I don't know, pop-up events locally? I haven't seen much besides like really cool Facebook ads and Instagram photos. I haven't seen an actual commercial that addresses many of those things we talked about earlier. So who the heck is this cruise for? Well, I'm glad you asked. This cruise is for people who do not want to bring their kids with them on vacation or do not want to be with anyone else's kids on vacation. It is truly for people who are young at heart, free-spirited, and really want to be themselves on vacation. They want something unique, fresh, and fun. It's for foodies and cocktail enthusiasts that crave boldness with their menu items and their food choices. It's also for experienced cruisers who desperately want a change of pace. That goes for my creator friends who told me they're a little bit bored right now with the cruise industry. I won't say their names, but it is what it is. It's also for health and fitness focused people who just want to stay active on vacation and still have a little bit fun at the same time. It's for people that really want to get away, be themselves, enjoy a luxury vacation on a super yacht for an incredible price. So whatever happened to Virgin Cola, you ask? Well, Coca-Cola essentially just cut them out of the market. They cut some deals behind closed doors and essentially made sure that Virgin Cola could not expand anywhere else. But Richard Branson learned from his mistakes and said he would never, ever go into a market unless he really felt that he could make a difference. And with Virgin Voyages, I promise you he did. Anyways, I have a gift for you guys in the description box below. It'll say, click this link here for Virgin. You'll thank me later. Book the cruise. Have fun. And that's all I got. Peace.